Hi, everybody. So you guys know what a pressure cooker does, right? It's like a cooking magic trick. It can make your favorite meal in no time by trapping steam inside the pot and building up pressure. And it's hard to believe that this food tastes like it was been slow cooked for hours, right? Well, today we're going to talk about how this pressure cooker effect can apply to our lives, especially if we struggle with boundaries and time management. So this is going to be really helpful for those of us struggling with ADHD too. So for those of you who don't know, ADHD has its pros and cons. And we ADHD folks, for example, are super imaginative, which helps with creativity and coming up with ideas. But we sometimes get carried away with the planning and the research. And that's because we can see multiple paths leading to the same result. Unlike our neurotypical friends who shift into action once they identify a path, we have a glitchy brain signal. It just forgets to tell us when to switch gears, and it only kicks in when we have a tight deadline or a sense of urgency. So if we're not mindful, without boundaries, we can easily get burnt out and caught up in negative self-talk. It's also common for us to gravitate towards fun and creative tasks, especially when they get dangled in front of us when we're in the middle of something challenging. So let me tell you about a client of mine who desperately wanted to enjoy the freedom of small business ownership that allows for a flexible work schedule. She tried so hard to take Fridays off, for example, but always ended up working. She believed that it was just that she had bad task initiation and procrastinated too much. She felt like a failure, unable to see herself ever successfully working less hours to be able to make space for guilt-free time off. But when we dug deeper, we found something interesting. Through a scheduling link she provided her clients, they could easily book meetings with her even during her supposed time off. In fact, sometimes she even had back-to-back client meetings with zero time for herself or office work that needed to get done. These constant interruptions totally messed up her productivity. Also interesting was the present moment awareness she discovered by rolling back the tape on a typical work week. We observed attending to her clients made her feel like a perfect 10, but her motivation went to a big fat 0 when she had to get back to the original tasks that she stopped. Plus, she could see that these impromptu meetings often ended up creating more work for herself. So what went wrong here? Well, attending to her clients gave her a dopamine hit, like a quick fix of pleasure and praise, but it's just like a sugar rush. It tricks your brain. It doesn't last long. Soon she starts to feel bad, started thinking negative thoughts, and because her energy got zapped by that distraction, it took her even longer to finish the original tasks. And not surprisingly, she started believing that she'd never achieve the freedom she wanted. So I asked her what meaning she made from this exploration we did, and her answer was, if I want to work less hours, I have to operate my business that way. So here's what we did. We came up with an experiment, using a tighter time block and taking advantage of her early morning energy. We set a 36-hour notice for her appointments and created a dedicated time block after lunch for client meetings. This made her meetings more predictable. It gave her a chance to focus on other tasks early in the morning. Now, she also has to change her mindset because we've got to challenge this belief that she's a failure. So right now she's testing a new mantra. Structure gives me freedom. Let me tell you, taking the time to uncover the root cause of your struggle and addressing it with a small and simple tweak can make a world of difference. Taking ownership over your schedule gives you agency and choice to achieve a better work-life balance. So if you struggle with boundaries and time management, try applying some planned, intentional pressure, just like a pressure cooker. Set clear boundaries, manage your schedule wisely, and embrace structure. You might be surprised at how much freedom you gain in the process. I look forward to hearing your takeaways and any feedback you have. Thanks for listening.